Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. As well on the right side as the fire red Kindle, we've got Matagi. Oh, I butchered that name as well. Matagi. Matagai? Overthinking it. Spawn on the left side as the brown desert Kindle. We've got mateofeo. I pronounce these names. Mateofeo? How do I spell the name? Or Mateofeo? Maybe that's probably it. Mateofeo. Because when I try to split up this name into syllables, but I just don't know where to split them. My knowledge of syllables, like, I can view it that way or that way. Either way, let's get started. This is a mirror matchup. I don't really cover mirror matches all too often, but I do think this is going to be a good one. Oh yeah, I think I remember something as well. Restart themes every turn. Let me see if that will... I may need to refresh the game, and that'll hopefully make a continuous loop. Now it looks like it's not doing it. Did it stay? Yes. Seems looping. Actually, I have that one there. Yeah, oh well. Of course, initial infantry production stage. Well, I cannot speak. We got a T-copter here. An APC here, so both players gone for a transport. And of course, both players do start for black boat. Fire red does pull off his or her black boat first. Wait. Is that what it's I hear like it's doing the continuous loop, but it's also doing the intro bit every single time. I think you hear that it goes down, 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 and then it goes the seamless loop. That's weird. So the seamless part sort of bugging out. I'm curious if there's a... Wait, is this it? Is that what's causing the issue? I can have the intro replay every single time and have seamless loop. That's a stupid combination. I think it's doing the continuous loop now. It is, okay. Apparently you can have a setting to replay the intro and seamless loop. That's just funny to me. Yeah, good number of artillery and tanks on the field. Right now, Fire Red has 1 artillery, 2 tanks. Brown does has 1 or 2 artillery, 1 tank. Well, this is a mirror matchup, of course. And all the properties are just now hot spots the entire game. This infantry unit there. This infantry unit is on top of the mountain, able to spot a good number of distance. Recon on top of the point. Mech can get a good strike there in the recon. Artillery will be in range to potentially get a strike from over here. Lots of captures there. Recon hits the infantry unit there. Seems well, if something charged forward hits the recon, pull back, tank get on top, and retaliates for a good amount of damage. I wonder if there's going to be different ways how these players start pulling out their powers and superpowers. Will we see high society? It is a good superpower, and there's a good number of properties in this map. So at least both players should be able to get a plus 75% firepower with their high societies, if I'm not mistaken. And I wonder if one player just spams out everybody as soon as he get it, or will they wait so they pop Urban Blight to also go with the boosted strikes from the cities. After all, with just even Urban Blight, your firepower bonus will go from 40% to 80%. Your superpower increases to 130%, along with all the global firepower bonuses. So you could be looking at plus 200% firepower from a city, which is absurd. That's power of money's worth of firepower on very limited locations. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and recon. We'll fire some boils and battlecopters. Artillery, tank, and anti-air. Infantry unit gets hit twice. Does spot the infantry unit in the shore. Having a good time at the beach. Medium tank, infantry. The medium tank on the field. Get a boost strike down the infantry unit. Tank lurk in the woods. Does clear up that city there and put an infantry unit on top of it. Gotta remember as well, every property is a fire base, basically. Or fire red base. That was a horrible pun. Because the term fire base may not be used in a game like this. I play a lot of other games as well. Oh, boost strike onto the city there. Plus 40% firepower is greater than plus 30% defense. By a pretty good margin. Here's things well, the recon get cleared out. I was going to say, then the tank can push forward, a good boost strike there, but there's good enough forces there. Not to mention artillery provide a good fire support. Gets the tank there, gets the tank there. Urban Light would do a decent amount of damage against Brown Desert right now. Does pop Urban Blight there, strikes his infantry there, hits this tank, this artillery, tank, battlecopter, some infantry units there. So good amount of damage there. Clears out the city. Oh, does not clear out the city. Does clear it out there. Anti-air strikes recon, battlecopter strikes recon, battlecopter strikes artillery. Tank hits recon, infantry hits that one, and boost strike there on the recon, knocking it out. And there's a good amount of mass in front of these battlecopters, so the anti-airs may not be able to range it. But to clear out two things from them, which can be easily softened up with Urban Blight on this tank here. Actually, this may be a case of a high society if possible. Right now, if Brown Desert gets a high society, 25 properties will be plus 75% firepower, which could be useful in order to rearrange everything in the back line. Hard to say though. Looks like just general pullback. Both players are calm tower, though Brown Desert may claim this one. Fire Red's on the front doorstep. Or is that the back door? Hard to say. And things well, Fire Red should probably avoid parking stuff on top of properties because of Urban Blight. And should also probably avoid being next to a property because of fighting against Kindle. Just avoid properties if you fight against Kindle. Even though that's usually the goal of the game is to go for properties. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. 3 properties being captured, which may warrant a high society or Urban Blight itself. We're in the 24,000, 21,000. Oh, the Urban Blight was cast. Apparently, the Sivo Soup also applies to the power and superpower music. Did not know that. Recon gets struck. Medium tank does strike the anti-air there. This is also wounded. Tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Brown insert with 156, 125 started now, so red is about a turn behind. Here's some captures. Boost there onto the mountain. Hits the anti-air twice. Hits the infantry in there. Pops her own power. Battlecopter gets a boost strike in the tank, one-shotting it. Battlecopter gets a shot on the medium tank. Battlecopter gets a shot on the medium tank. Boost strike there. Though wounded. Tank on tank. Tank hits infantry. Battlecopter hits tank. Hits the unit on top of the comm tower. 10 capture progress remaining. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, and infantry. Anti-air hits the battlecopter. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Another Urban Blight's available for Brown. Some of these properties, this property has 3 capture progress remaining, so Urban Blight will not interrupt it. Tank, tank, tank. And does not commit a Urban Blight. Captures there. Red's at 23, Brown's at 22. So this one property is still despicably neutral somewhere based on that odd number captured. Yep, this property is still despicably neutral. 6 capture progress remaining for health unit on top. Good shots there. High size available for Brown Desert. Tank, anti-air, battlecopter, infantry. Will we see the high society or will it be an Urban Blight? Urban Blight will strike this tank down here. And of course the stuff in the reinforcements, but let's see. We do have an Urban Blight. Cleans up a good number of the wounded stuff. Boost strike there. Does not one-shot us somehow. Well, it was wounded a little bit. But a pretty good sweep there up in north. Down south, red, so it's quite a bit of forces. Infantry, battlecopter, T-copter, recon, and infantry. So got quintuple deployment, which may be a quintuple blighted. Both comm towers catch up by Brown Desert, so we've got 3 versus 1 comm tower right now. Units reposition, infantry, and tank. Oops. Looks like Brown Desert's on the fall back as well. We do have a full fighter deployed in the field. That may be a little bit overkill versus all the battlecopters. Red's going to be capturing the southern comm tower and some other cities. This may be a Brown Desert Urban Blight. Triple recon battlecopter by Red. Looks like Red really wants to reconnoiter the area. I love that word, reconnoiter. Artillery range of this tank here. I mentioned it could be Urban Blighted. Same this battlecopter going from, which means the 1 health infantry could counterattack, taking it out if it's at 1% health. If that matters really. Its 2 health battlecopters are nice and all, but they're not fantastic. Battlecopter, and triple infantry. Another quintuple deployment. I love saying the word quintuple. It also reminds me of Red Alert 3. Does shoot the 2 health battlecopter. Knocks another battlecopter. Artillery strikes tank. Another battlecopter strikes a tank there. Right now, we've got 5 battlecopters ruffling about versus 4 battlecopters ruffling about. Anti-air, artillery, and mech. The mech is next to, or somewhat close to a T-copter. Not necessarily next to it, as in the form of a word adjacent, but it is in sprinting range. Anti-air, recon, battlecopter, and infantry. Oh, it seemed like that turn lasted a little bit longer than expected. Recon. Tank hits the anti-air. Red has access to high society, 23 properties. So 2 counters, it should be 25 properties. If not more, let's see. Both players are 23, so it's effectively going to be the same. Yeah, both players have 25 properties, which means plus 75% firepower from the superpower, which is quite significant. Infantry, Neo-Tank, and Infantry. Great turn for Urban Blight against Red, looks like. Fighter takes out Battlecopter. Oh, goes for regular power there. So the Neo-Tank gets blighted. And a couple infantry up here. But overall, Red did stay off of properties. Not a lot of units in range for high society for Red, so it's probably going to not go for one. Oh, Black boat sunk to the bottom of the shore. Tank, Recon, Battlecopter, and Infantry. Almost enough for another Urban Blight, which does have a Neo-Tank parked on top of it now. Recon does go down, hits the Infantry on top of the mountainside, knocking it out. Neo-Tank, Infantry, and Infantry. So both players now have a Neo-Tank on the field. Anti-air takes the Battlecopter. Tank does get trapped there, so it's nice. That little trap there. Hits the tank there in return. Red's eyeing the high society, trying to lure stuff on in, has some units in reserve. With the absurd firepower bonuses, you don't necessarily need to have the strongest units for that plus 70% firepower bonus. Tank, Recon, and Infantry. Does put around the Recon. And it looks like the artillery gets struck. Things well, there's units next to the city there, so booster strikes from it is very likely. But it looks like Brown's getting some great hits up here. A lot of good hits, to say the least. And Brown's pulling back here. Red pushes way forward. Tank, Recon, Infantry, Battlecopter. Will Red go for a high society? Right now, 27 units versus 41. 203 value versus 148. So Red's about 2 turns behind. He needs to make a power play. Maybe a super power play. Or could just go for a power play. Super power play. Plus 75% firepower global with additional 130% firepower from cities. Additional plus 10 from acting power and or superpower. And another plus 20 from a comm tower. That is probably going to be a one-shot in the anti-air. Yeah, easy one-shot there. Does not take out the tank there. Could have sworn I would. Tank hits tank. Will one-shot it. Battlecopter should one-shot it. High society is now available. Full health infantry takes out 8 health infantry. Artillery falls back. Recon gets knocked out. There's no absurd boost strike there on the tank there. Probably be close like 200%. Probably wants to avoid being on top of the city from avoid an urban blight. Tank is good strike there. 3 defense stars save this tank. At least from dying, not from pain. Neo-Tank, double Recon. 161 versus 178. Of course, it is Brown's turn. Fighter will take out the Battlecopter. Pops a regular Urban Blight, which does strike the Neo-Tank down south. This Neo-Tank still actually did not advance forward last turn. So it's in prime ambush position against this Neo-Tank. If anti-air stays alive, then potentially could hit a fighter. Does hit the anti-air. 5 health anti-air can still do put some pain on the fighter, maybe 4 points of damage. Red's turn. It's 181 versus 136. Recon strike regular infantry unit there. Recon finish off unit. Boost strike on the anti-air, knocking it out. Battlecopter takes out regular tank. Anti-air goes for the battlecopter. Probably the best target, honestly. Probably better go for it than for the fighter. Softens up the Neo tank. Hits the Neo tank hard. Anti-air can fully advance the woods. Perhaps try to hit that fighter. I'm just probably trying to stick around and hit one of these battlecopters. Pretty sure the anti-air managed to advance forward in the cover of Fog of War. Tank infantry, yep, in the Fog of War. Seeing the anti-air there. If he takes it out, he could try gambling the fighter hit one of these, hit this battlecopter. I think he's aware of this battlecopter. But it would be a bad gamble. Takes out the anti-air booster strike. Artillery falls back to the forest. Neo tank falls back as well. And the fighter does fall back as well. Rocket anti-air or recon and infantry. We got the rockets. Looks like Red's falling back in general as well, so got quite a bit of no man's land appearing. Both players have 23 properties. Brown still about 1 turn ahead. Anti-air, infantry, and another battlecopter. Recon strikes regular infantry unit and hits the other infantry unit, or that same infantry unit. 2 9 health Neo tanks. Guess how they got the 9 health. We got APC, mech, and recon. Battlecopter and tank here running low on fuel. Tank has 20 fuel. Battlecopter has 29. We have now APC in the field for a bit of a resupply. Can't say if the battlecopter needs more than 29 fuel or 26 fuel. Probably actually does. And spending 5,000 to resupply it is probably a good way to save a $5,000 or $9,000 asset. Not to mention, resupplying that tank is also probably neat as well. Since 15 fuel is not a lot to advance, it will definitely run out of steam pretty quickly. Resupplies those assets, very nice. T-copter could be next turn, 31 fuel. Triple anti-air. Recon gets knocked out in range of some artillery. Rocket advancing inside a forest. As much as you wanted to try to get a booster strike from a city, it's probably best to avoid any possible urban blight with that thing. But its booster strikes would be deadly. Because it's effectively what? Almost a grit. No, that would be a grit super grit snipe or super snipe, just without the range benefits. The massive range benefits, so it's not really comparable. Because if I remember correctly, grits with indirect firepower increased to what, plus 40%, and of course the range for both power and superpower. Battlecopter, triple infantry, and another battlecopter, so got a quintuple deployment. Oh, Urban Blight there, strikes a pretty good time. Hits, of course, those units that first got spawned. Hits this infantry unit over here, and that's about it. Let's see if, oh, hits this tank here. Rocket in range of the tank as well as the recon. Probably a good idea to strike the tank there, then use a boost strike to hit the recon. I used to go for the recon. Try to go for a boost strike on the anti-air. I mean, anti-air boost strike onto the battlecopter would be about 200%, if not 250%. Does take it out the normal way. get a good couple rounds into the artillery, knocking it out. And now trying to capture it up. Could see Urban Blight potentially high side next turn. Battlecopter, recon, and infantry. Instead of 254,000 versus 192. Both players are working with a large number of assets, but Brown does have about 2, if not 3 turn advantage right now. Does look at the Battlecopter. Pops an Urban Blight, softs up this infantry unit there. New tank takes the APC. Battlecopter hits tank. Tank hits tank. Recon, and tank. Hits the recon again. Rocket fired, artillery fired. This artillery's out of range. Oh, gets trapped there. Found the mech. Mech can get it. Has 3 targets of tanks in front of it, or can take time to take out a anti-air, put a round into it. Fighter lurking in the woods. Tank. Does take out the Battlecopter there. Neo tank strikes medium tank. Mech strikes tank. Neo tank strikes regular tank. Battlecopter hits infantry. Infantry hits infantry. Do now have an Urban Blight. Tank hits artillery, which is already softened up by the Urban Blight. Resupply there. It's the infantry unit there. Does not take it out. Recon gets boost strike on the infantry unit there, and boost strike there. Recon takes a shot. Infantry takes a shot. ATR takes a shot. Battlecopter gets a good strike on the tank. Battlecopter strikes the artillery. Recon, artillery, Battlecopter, infantry. Rockets got so far 3 shots on down. Another Urban Blight activated. Softens up the units in the back. Hits the APC. And it hits an infantry unit there. Hits the recon. Fighter takes out, sorties the Battlecopter. Boost strike there on the infantry unit there. Clean sweep there. Does strike the artillery against the Urban Blight. It's probably at 1% health at the moment. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Insert 108,000 for 136. New tank strikes regular tank. Battlecopter strikes Neo or medium tank. Neo tank takes out anti-air. Mech trying to capture the city. Anti-air manages to get a first strike, or does strike the fighter, who's almost actually out of fuel. This guy does all the anti-air could finish it off. Does. Hits the recon twice. Tank. Right now it's 22 versus 24,000 income, so pretty similar. Make that one different now, so it's 21 versus 25. Does take out the anti-air there. Boost strike there. Artillery in range Neo tank, however, it's at 3 health. Hits the infantry unit up north. Hits the tank, again, does not finish off. Does with the artillery now. Red has Urban Blight available. Hits the mech, tank, APC, and infantry. Battlecopter strikes tank. We do have now another Urban Blight activated by red. I wonder how much the power costs. The initial cost is 27,000. For red, it is at 59,000. Both are at 59,000. Infantry, and a Battlecopter got another quintuple deployment. Here's the recon with the rocket, actually. The rock's down to 1 ammo, needs another APC, or well, it does have APC here. Battlecopter, infantry, and anti-air. Battlecopter just strike infantry there. Battlecopter strikes tank. Tank hits tank. Recon does not. Neo-tank knocks out regular tank. This Neo-tank is not in range of this Neo-tank, just out of range. Infantry, recon, and T-copter. Ground does lay down another power. It's the battlecopter. Neo-tank, infantry. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Battlecopter finishes off. Artillery does strike the anti-air. Does get knocked out. Nice little pick there. Couple captures down south. 11. 3 capture progress remaining, but that's infantry units nearby. Does spot it, and Neo-tank strikes it. Battlecopter does strike the Neo-tank here. Triple anti-air. Rocket takes out another target. It's actually out of ammo now, so the APC next turn will need to resupply it. Or risk being, well, out of ammo. You can't have luck if you don't have ammo. If Rex told me anything. Or you need luck if you don't have ammo. Infantry, recon, anti-air, and battlecopter. APC does get trapped. Battlecopter will strike battlecopter. Artillery, recon, infantry, and another battlecopter. Does have the infantry unit there. Of course, there's possible boost strike there. Not like the anti-air needs boost to strike. Got a full bomber in opponent field, and then triple infantry. Anti-air gets a boost strike there, probably close to 200% damage. I always like seeing these big numbers. Yep, 200% at most. With a superpower, probably be even higher. Just out of my curiosity. Yep, that's what it looks like on superpower. Sorry, big numbers. Tank. Strike the battlecopter there. Boost strike there on the battlecopter, easily knocking it out. Rocket is still here. I wonder if Red knows about the rocket. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Does take out the anti-air. Another battlecopter going on down. Does get trapped there, but still is able to unload. Tank, or battlecopter, and triple infantry. Another quintuple deployment. Does strike the anti-air with a rocket once again. Bomber strikes infantry unit. See, next power is 794, 64. Red may be eyeing for high society at the current rate. See what the infantry unit there. T-copter. Anti-air, and infantry. APC does fall back. This infantry unit there. Bomber strikes the infantry unit in the mountain. The Alpine troop does go down. Black boat's actually getting pretty low in fuel. Red's, of course, went down a long time ago. Tank, recon, infantry, and battlecopter. It is now day 40. One reason why I want to do this replay, it's day 40, the Kindle mirror. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And again, you don't really see games above day 40, so those are the replays even for the mirror matchups, so I sort of do recon, recon, and infantry. If it's fun, like a bit more mechanically interesting, like Kindle, probably more likely to do a mirror matchup. Which plays with T-copter and black boat. We got triple transport there. You know what? Get all the transports. Actually, there's a bit more transports. You still need a lander, a cruiser, and an aircraft carrier. You can want all the transports. Bomber, triple infantry. Red's very close to a superpower. This unit up north. Another quintuple deployment, but this time includes a recon. It's the captain unit up north. 2 infantry does find an artillery piece and tank. Battlecopter, tank, recon, and infantry. A lot of weights, you monster. Will we see a high society this turn? Brown ends turn 257, red starts turn 211. We do have the full superpower now activated. Takes out the anti-air. Ooh, 2 of anti-air did how much damage? I'm generally surprised that 2 of anti-air did that much damage. Granted, this is on top of city. In total, with additional 24 properties, so we're talking about 72%. 2 Commodores plus 10 plus 10. With 130%, like, that is so many firepower bonuses. Reduced by 80%, still does 8 points damage. That's sort of obscene. Easy one shot there. Battlecopter takes out Battlecopter. Neo tank nukes the regular tank there. For probably 150% damage. Nope, 212. Easy one shot there. Tank clears out the infantry unit there. Tank clears out. Oh, 2's defense stars saved it. That was a massive boost strike there on that recon. Sorry, numbers big. Why am I having trouble? 280%. Big numbers go up. But to be fair, I did not expect 2 of anti-air to do that much damage to a battlecopter. Triple infantry, another pair of battlecopters. And Brown could pop his own high society. Urban Blight. Which of course hits the quintuple deployment. Hits this tank here. This anti-air is now definitely down to 1%. Most of this artillery as well. Does take out that unit there. There goes the APC. Instead of 125 versus 189. Artillery, recon. Bomber does strike one of the recons. Anti-air over here maybe in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is. Can be in range. Clearing out a good number of units there. Does strike the artillery. Capture the property. 23 versus 23 once again. Takes out the battlecopter. Neo-tank takes out the anti-air. So that unit there. Artillery strikes the anti-air. Hits the Neo-tank, so it looks like he will not be able to range the bomber. Tank, and infantry. Another power there. Urban Blights at the 75,000 for 64. Cruise strike there, hitting that battlecopter. Anti-air takes up battlecopter. Bomber nukes the Neo-tank. That's maybe game over for Red now, losing the Neo-tank like that. The bomber could be struck by anti-air on the shore. But then it's nothing really stopped this Neo-tank here. Not adjacent to a property for a boost strike there. Not even bothering starting to capture up the comm tower with 2 health. Anti-air takes out, puts a good round into the bomber. Neo-tank gets struck twice. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Anti-air recon tank. We almost have another superpower available for Red. Hits the battlecopter. Red can now pop out another superpower. Bomber falling back with 2 health. Can be repaired up a little bit by the black boat. This tank is in range of artillery piece, but only one of them. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, and recon. I think a lot of units getting weighted. And Red decides to pop the power, not the superpower. Which does hit this anti-air. This anti-air gets struck normally. Recon gets hit. And does machine gun a little bit there. Does not take it out. Battlecopter, tank, and pair of infantry. Hits the recon twice. Hits the infantry unit there. Tank hits tank, or battlecopter hits tank. Does take out the recon. Boost strike onto the artillery. Hits the battlecopter. New tank charge forward. Gets a good shot there. Brown has a power now. Yeah, it feels like Brown's getting an ever better position now. Red's been doing a good job. Been behind most of this game, but took some critical losses. Does take another battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Interrupts a capture. Both players at 23 property, so that equal income at the moment. Booster strike there. Does not take out the tank. Going for the comm tower. And will body block the comm tower with infantry and possibly with a T-copter. There is open sea there. Recon, double anti-air. Battlecopter does strike tank. Tank, recon, and infantry. Takes some infantry. Boost strike on the Neo-tank, getting great hit there. Bomber gets spotted of wrong moment. Does have anti-air in reserve though. Stops this capture. This capture's course been interrupted as well. And looks like Red does go ahead and resign. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay.